What's up, guys? Team Yugi Fields here, and today we're taking a look at a deck profile. So we're going to be taking a look at Burning Abyss, not just any Burning Abyss. We're going to be taking a look at Burning Abyss Phantom Knight or PK Fly or whatever you guys want to call it. We're just going to be, kind of digging in and seeing how I like this deck and how it's running now versus when it was Master Rule 3. But let's just jump right into this. So we are playing 3 Skarm. We'll start off with the Burning Abyss monsters, obviously. Skarm is just your searcher, so I did a lot of research into the lore of this deck, and everything about it is very much based off of the Divine Comedy. That's why it's one of my favorite decks, because it's one of my favorite books. It's like the most complex book that I've personally ever read or attempted to read, I should say. But all of them have characteristics of certain aspects of the book. So that's kind of significant. But Skarm, obviously, searching cards is very important to the deck. Farfa, obviously, being able to banish your opponent's monsters for a turn is pretty good. Having that ability to kind of cut their field off makes this deck very, very solid and allows for some really good stun plays. 2 Libic. So with Libic, like, you're playing Phantom Knights, so there are going to be times where you need to play Burning Abyss from your hand that has like its effect negated on the field. That way it doesn't get automatically popped when it hits the field. So Libic is really, really good. I've thought about playing him at 3 just because I'm playing the Phantom Knights. The 1-ofs, 1 Barbar, 1 Seer, 1 Calcab, 1 Graph, and 1 Rubik. These are our 1-ofs. I don't play Alec. I don't have any room for it. If I was playing Pure, I'd think about it, but even in Pure, I don't really use it. On to the Phantom Knights. So we play 3 Boots, 2 Cloak, and 1 Gloves. The 3-2-1 ratio has always really been the thing, and I always stick with it. Then 2 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. If I was playing Pure, I'd play 3, but we do have the Phantom Knights to kind of back this deck up with this particular variant, so you only need 2 of this. 1 Crane. You really don't need more than this. This card just gives you a Dante that can't be, or it gives you the ability to make a Dante without being able to get ashed. You could still get ogred, but like, chances are they're gonna want to ash something, and they can't ash this, so that's pretty good. Then obviously the 1 Tour Guide. This is like one of the last pieces to this deck that I have to fix. I have to give this card as an ulti, but other than that, I like just about everything in here. Almost everything. 1 Fairy Tale Snow. Obviously, being able to Book of Moon your opponent's monsters on command is pretty significant, especially in like a very pendulum heavy format, because if they're playing the Master Cerberus build, or the Mythical Beast build I should say, and you can get this on your field and set their Cerberus that's in their extra monster zone, they just can't make Electromite, which is pretty good. Moving on to the hand traps, 3 Ash and 3 Ogre. Not really much to comment on here. That's pretty much the ratios everyone is playing. That's the monsters. I believe it's 30, but let's move on to the spells. So we have 3 Allure of Darkness. Draw power is really good. You're playing a lot of dark monsters, so you should always have 1 in hand for the most part. So that card is just too good not to play. The 1-ofs, 1 Foolish, 1 E-Telly. I took this from Tamir Brown's list. The guy who top 8 at YCS Salt Lake. He was playing this like in the instance that he like played a tour guide, and his tour guide get ashed. He could use this to special Ghost Ogre and still make a Dante, or a Virgil in that case, which is pretty good. 1 Soul Charge and 1 Reborn, so those are the 4 1-ofs. In the Pure version, I don't play Soul Charge because it's not like that phenomenally good. Reborn is really good in the Pure version, like Bring Back Beatrice is really solid. But seeing we're playing Phantom Knights, that's why I play the Soul Charge. Onto the traps. Smallest trap lineup in this variation, only because I was like really tight on space and I didn't have like everything for the 60 card list. 3 Fog Blade and 1 Skill Drain. Nothing really major to speak on here. This is all fairly simplistic. In the pure version, I do main deck anti-spells and torrential, but that would require obviously me taking these and the Phantom Knight engine out to do so. But that is the main deck. Let's go ahead and move on to the extra deck. So in the extra deck, obviously, 3 Dante, you got to play 3 of him. There's a point where I was playing 2, and I just missed playing 3 of it. And like I was playing 2 because of Master Rule 4 at one point, because my thought process was you're not going to be able to make him as often. But now looking at it, like you want to play 3 of him for sure. 1 Breaksword. You really don't need more than the 1. I mean, you could play 2, but I think 1 is perfectly fine. So here's like where the tricky part is. So I play 1 Levier. So this is like one of the few cards in the extra deck that you can just like change. Like you have the ability to change it for basically any rank 3 that you want. I like Levier because we're playing the Phantom Knights, and like it just kind of helps you extend into more plays. So having the Levier obviously is pretty solid, but it also, like I said, is one of the changeable cards in the extra deck. You don't have to play it. 1 Nightmare Shark and 1 Acid Golem. These are just things that you've always really played in BA. Nothing really to speak on there. Obviously, like this card is really good against Draco if you have the skill drain up or something. So then, like, you can swing into a Masterpiece or something like that, which is pretty solid. The 1 Rebellion for the Breaksword. Nothing really to speak on there. That's self-explanatory by itself. 1 Beatrice. Obviously, playing her is the it's just the thing that you always want to be able to make turn 1. So being able to like summon a Beatrice turn 1 and dump whatever you want on your opponent's turn is pretty significant. Then we do play the Virgil and the Pilgrim. So obviously these are fairly significant. Like Virgil, you don't have to summon off of Beatrice. Usually I summon Dante off Beatrice, I always say Pilgrim because like it is Dante, but like people think of Dante as mill 3, not discard draw. But yeah, usually this is made off the Beatrice effect, and this is made off of like something else. But I won't like go into detail with that. Then Link Monsters, 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Decode. So these are obviously your lower Link cards, and like if you open a BA monster that's not Graph or Seer, and then you open Fiendish Rhino Warrior, you should be able to make this and Beatrice turn 1, which is pretty good, to be realistic. Then the other Link monsters, 1 Saryuja and 1 Borreload. These cards are just obviously really, really good. They just kind of help you extend and do some crazy stuff. Like you don't have to make these, and like if you make one of these in a game, chances are you won't make the other one. But it's possible that you could. Like it's just likely that you won't. But you absolutely could. But that is the extra deck. We'll take a look at the side deck now. Side deck, as I always tell everyone, is always a work in progress. My side decks are never guaranteed until like the day of an event that I start playing in it. But let's just take a look. So 1 Raiden, 1 Kumongus, and 1 Gamseel. So like playing Kaijus is really good, and I play this over any of the big attack ones because like it's a dark, so I can banish it off of Allure if I want to. Which is pretty good, not gonna lie. Spell cards, 1 Slumber, 1 Dark Hole, and 1 Raigeki. That's pretty obvious. Being able to clear boards is a solid thing to do. 3 Cosmics, like you can main deck this, but for me there's no space. Like I said, if I was playing the 60 card variant, I'd main deck it, but I am not, so we don't main deck it. Onto the traps. 3-dimensional barrier, still like one of the best cards of the format. Like this card just does so much stuff for you. It cuts off so many decks, which is very important. And then, of course, my best friend, the 3 anti-spell. So this card is just super busted in this deck because like you don't have to use spell cards. So, like I'm just gonna run through this real quick and pull the spell cards up, and I'm gonna put these anti-spells right at the bottom here. So like. The spells that we have are exactly 7 cards here. So going into like a game two if you're going first against like Pendulum or something. You don't need E-Telly going first, and like you can kind of take away an allure if you want to. Like basically, you just want stuff that's going to help you like draw into this. That way, you can cut off Pendulum Magicians. So like allures are important, and like E-Telly isn't that important, and like the Reborn stuff isn't as important either going first. So like you can literally pull out these three cards for the anti-spells if you wanted to, and still like run the deck very well. But that's just kind of like my 2 cents on it. That's obviously like your guys' choice as to what you side out for what cards. But like the 3 anti-spell is very significant, obviously, in that matchup. But that wraps up for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And this is Team Yugi Fills signing out.